Hello students, how are you today? You good? Great, I'm good too. Alright, first let me check the attendance list. Have you all filled in the attendance list? You have? Let's see. Alright, as everyone has filled in the attendance list. Anyway, is there anyone that has filled in the attendance list but is not in the meeting yet? Everyone is here? Very good. So we can just move on to our lesson for the day. And today we are going to be discovering about perfect modals. So what is these perfect modals? Anyone has any idea or opinion? Maybe? Yes, A? All right. First, it's very good of you for answering my question. So your answer is that perfect modals are models that are used perfectly, isn't it? All right. Well, there is no such perfect or imperfect models. So I'm afraid that that is not the idea of what perfect models is. Then what is this perfect models? Anyone else has another opinion? Yes, B? Yeah, you got it. So yeah, perfect models have something to do with present perfect tense. So basically, perfect models are models that are followed by present perfect tense, and that is why they are called perfect models. But then, what are they? Let me share my screen. Can you see my slides? Yes? Very good. I'll make it slideshow. Alright, the modals are here: should, could, would, might, may, must, can, and couldn't. And the example for should is should have told me about her rifle so I could pick her up. For could, I could have delivered it myself, but I did not. For would, Tina would have come earlier if she took the bus instead of working here. Might or may, the students seem to understand the material very well. The teacher might have explained the material clearly. And must, the car is not in its first place. Glenn must have moved the chair because he was the only one here yesterday. And Maria can't have been the one who came to your house because I was with her all day yesterday. Now what I want you to do is to take a look carefully at the examples, to read it carefully and to try to understand the examples very well, because you will have something to do with the examples later. Just a simple thing, but that needs a very good understanding of the examples. So I will give you 2 minutes to just read it carefully and try to understand it. Try to understand all the examples. Is it clear? Great, now I guess you can start working on your reading now. Time is up, students. Have you finished your reading? You should have. All right. So what are you going to do next is, hang on. What did you know? Guess the formula. So the examples, the sentences in the examples contain the formula of perfect modals, and I want you to get the idea of that formula there. But don't worry, I will give you 2 more minutes to read it and to write down the formula you can find in the chat box. But I want you to be confident of your own answers. So although you can see the other answers on the chat box, you still have to be very confident of your answers because the other answers may be wrong, right? Alright, is it understandable? Yes? Good, you can start working on it now. You have 2 minutes, okay? 1, 2, 3. Time's up, students. Okay, let me check the chat box. 1, 2, 3. Very good. I believe all of you have put your answers there. And now we can discuss it together and see whether you got it right or not. The examples from the previous slide. You can see that there are things in red, the other things in orange, and the other things in turquoise. So yeah, the models are in red, and there are some other things in orange and turquoise which indicate the pattern each of the sentence has. Can you see that? So all of them have the things in orange and in turquoise. They have, and they have. What is that? Can anyone have a guess about that? Yes, correct. See, that's a verb tree because auxiliary verb have is always followed by verb tree. So you have the subject and then the modal and then have and verb tree. So you have this formula: subject, the modal, have, verb tree, and object. This formula This formula works for all the models. So whatever the model, you will use this formula. And now, uh, as they have the same formula for all models, then does it mean that all the models will have the same function? I mean, of course they have, like they are used to express something in the past, but do they have the detailed function in common? The answer is no. So when you say, you should have told me about her, and Tina would have told me about her, those may mean differently. And your task is to try to guess the function of each model. No, it won't take too long. Like it's just, you don't have to be afraid of being wrong here, because you just need to, you just need to feel it. When someone says, you should have taken the bus and you would have come earlier if you took the bus, what does that person actually mean? I want you to try to guess that, to try what that person actually wants to say, right? It's just that simple. Simple, yeah. So your task is try to understand all the functions, and then you can try to match the model with the correct function. And you can and you again need to write it down on the chat box by writing 1A to B Tracy and so on. And for this activity, I will give you 6 minutes. So you have 1 minute for each, 1 minute to understand the function and try to fit to the model. All right? Is it understandable? Or do you have any question? No? Great. You can start working on it now. All right, 6 minutes have passed and the time is up. So let me see the chat box. Very good. All of you have put your answers there. So I guess we can just discuss it together for now. Here. Should. When someone says, you should have told me about her arrival so I could pick her up, what does that mean? That means he or she wants to talk about something that was supposed to be done in the past but was not done in the past. So if that person told me about her arrival, I could possibly be able to pick her up. But that person did not tell me, so I couldn't pick her up. Now, for could. When someone says, I could have delivered it myself, but I didn't, what does that mean? That means that that person wants to talk about something that could possibly be done in the past, but was not be done or wasn't able to be done. So that person could possibly deliver the package probably by her or himself, but he or she couldn't do that. But he or she didn't do that. Probably because he or she doesn't have a motorcycle to send a package, or because her or his legs her or his leg is injured or is dropped. There are many reasons that he or she did not do that, did not deliver the packet by her himself, or was not able to do that. Next is would. Tina would have come earlier if she took the bus instead of walking here. What does that mean? That means that that person wants to give statements of something that does not happen. So when someone says Tina would have come earlier, that means that Tina did not come earlier. Next, for might or may. The students seem to understand the material very well. The teacher might or may have explained the material clearly. What does that mean? That means that the person is trying to talk about something that possibly happened in the past. So, why did the students understand the material better? That's probably because the teacher explained the material very well. The teacher explained the material clearly. That possibly happened. Next is must. The chair is not in its first place. Glenn must have moved the chair because he was the only one here yesterday. What does that mean? It means that person is sure of something that is done in the past. So the person is sure that Glenn is the one who moved the chair because Glenn was the only one there yesterday. So she or he is sure about that. Now, can or couldn't. We only have one left actually. So when someone said Maria can't or couldn't have been the one who came to your house because I was with her all day yesterday, it's actually the same with must. When someone is sure, but it is when someone is sure of not doing something in the past. So I hear was so sure that Maria did not come to the other person's house because I was with Maria all day long yesterday. So I can make sure of that. So far, do you understand, students? No question? All right, because there is no question, we just take it as you have understood the materials, right? So what are we going to do next? See, I have the riddles. To really check your understandings of the materials, I will give you some riddles to discuss together and try to find the answer for the question. If you really to understand the material, we'll be able to answer this. The first riddle. Mr. John got angry because Claire came late to the meeting held at 8 yesterday. Claire said that was because of the bus is available in every 15 minutes, and she was only able to take the 7:45 bus, but it took 20 minutes to arrive to the office. Mr. Chan said, "You should have woken up earlier." What did happen to Claire? No one has any idea? Yes, D? So your answer is that Claire woke up late? 100 for you, D. So Claire woke up late. Why was that so? It's because if she did not wake up late, she could probably take the 7:30 bus because the bus is available in every 15 minutes. And if she took the 7:30 bus, she would not come late to the meeting at the office. Does everyone now get the idea? Yeah, this is how perfect models work. Next, now the second riddle. Mr. John got a little bit angry because Claire came late to the meeting. Claire is a new employee at the office and she's also new to the city and the bus station. Claire is sure about something she did wrong and that's why she's late. What can be the most logical reason Claire could explain to Mr. John? Want to hear your ideas, students? Yes, E? Yeah, 100 for you, E. So the thing that can be the most logical reason Claire could explain to Miss John is that she must have taken the wrong bus. Because Claire is a new employee and she's new to the city and also the bus station. So she must have taken the wrong bus. That she finally came late to the meeting. So how do you think, students? Do you find it easy or just so or it's too hard for you to understand? I hope it's easy for you to understand. Alright, so now we finally come up to the summary. So as what we have learned so far, we have found out that perfect models, sorry, wrong typing there. Perfect models are not models that are perfect, but they are models that are followed by the present perfect tense. And the formula is subject plus the model, plus have, plus for tree, and plus object. And the function for each model may be different. For sure, it's talking about something that was supposed to be done in the past but was not done. For could, it's talking about something that could possibly be done in the past but was not be done or wasn't able to be done. For would, it gives statements of something that does not happen. For might or may, they talk about something that possibly happened in the past. For must is when you are sure of doing something in the past, and for can or couldn't is when you are sure of not doing something in the past. Is everything understandable, students, or do you have any question? Everything's clear? Any question? Okay. Now I will give you a homework. So I actually have assigned the homework in the Google Classroom and I have put the form there, but just to show you what you are going to do. You will be asked to make sentences consisting perfect model out of the 6 models. You'll have 6 sentences in total, and you have to write down the sentences and analyze the function of his sentence based on your understanding and based on what we have learned so far. And write it down in the form of Microsoft Word format, in a document format, and using the file name as your name, class A, and perfect model. And then send your work on the submission box in Google Classroom before Tuesday, May 11, 2021 at 6 p.m. Is everything clear, students? Everything's clear? Good. Alright, I guess let's just call it a day, and I hope you learned something from our lesson today. And please stay safe and healthy, and see you in the next meeting. Bye.